Just about set for football. The crowd is definitely ready. So are we. Off we go on EA Sports. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. They put Kelsey in motion. On 1st down, they'll start with Mixon. He'll get about 2. Linebacker Ivan Pace up to make that play. Look him up on a 2nd down and 8. From the shotgun, here's Nix. He's got his tight end. That's Travis Kelce. Here's 3rd and 7. Nix from the gun on 3rd down. That's complete. Who else? It's Kelce. A 1st-round pick looking right at home in this offense. It's a 1st down.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
And he is going to be stuffed well behind the line of scrimmage. That play going absolutely nowhere.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning 1st down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Throwing, Nix. To the left side, caught by Kelce. That's catch 3 just on this drop. And it gets his team a 1st down.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
And the rush gets home. He'll go down. Thank God.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. He runs with it. 17 yards on the gain, and now they've got 1st and goal.
Mike, this is the element to the position that this guy brings that's just so unique across the league. Not only the speed, but his ability to operate in the open field as a runner. It is hard for a defense to plan for a guy like this.
They'll run here. with Mixon. A second effort, and he is in. Joe Mixon. Touchdown, Eagles. It's his second touchdown of the year. A terrific way to start this one. Not only a touchdown, but a nice long march down the field. Makes it a long walk back to the bench for the defense.
Mike, that's about as good as you can imagine starting a game offensively. To be able to sustain that many plays and be able to cap it off with a touchdown, that is a dream start for this offense.
7-0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. Very good kickoff. Returnable from the 4. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. First and 10. To throw is Willis. That's complete. Jonathan Taylor out of the backfield. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 34-yard line.
Willis to throw. That's caught downfield by Harrison. A gain of 24 through the air. It's good for a Saints first down.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes.
Open man, it's Jameson Williams.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
On the ground for the first time, here comes Jonathan Taylor. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard, but that's it.
A gain of a yard on the play brings up 3rd and 4.
Here's a 3rd down and 4. Here's Willis. That one on target to Williams. He's got it. And he will score. Jameson Williams. Touchdown Saints. A terrific play all the way around. Finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
Joey Sly on now for the point after. His kick is good. Saints come right back to tie it at 7. A touchdown apiece here in the first quarter of play. Harris Evans on the scoreboard. More from New Orleans after this.
Joey Sly is set to kick off.
Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. The return team gonna let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. So they come to the line for first down and 10. They'll begin on the ground, and here's Mixon. A modest gain, maybe 2 yards. It's second down. To throw is Nix. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. They'll pick up 23 on that one. Good for an Eagles first down. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mixon. And he'll get this down inside the 40-yard line. A gain of 7 yards. Second down and 3. Now Nick's going to look to throw. That's caught. It's Joe Mixon. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
Well, let's give some credit to the big boys up front in the trenches. They knew that blitz was coming. They held up just long enough that the quarterback could get that ball out safely and results in a completion.
Knicks now on first and 10. That'll be taken in by Mixon. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a first down. They'll run out of the gun with Mixon. And he's in. Joe Mixon. Touchdown, Philadelphia. His second TD of the game, and this one gives his team the lead. What a standout performance early on in this one. That his second rushing touchdown of the game.
And some backs, Mike, they just have a sense of finding the end zone and being able to finish off these runs. That's exactly what this guy has been able to do today, and we're just getting started.
Next, the score, Eagles 14, Saints 7.
Following the touchdown, Bass is back to kick it off. This is going to be taken in at the 3. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. They'll come up here, first and 10. They'll motion the tight end, Smith. Working free downfield, it is Williams. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
It's a 3 tight end look as they have it first and 10. On the ground, it's Taylor. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 12 there. It's good for a Saints first down. 2 minutes to go here till halftime. We're back to New Orleans after this. Throwing is Willis. That is hauled in at the 5. Out of bounds, but in business. They mark him down near the 2. Give him 27, and it's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. And he's going to be stopped in the backfield. Taken down back at the 3.
In these goal-to-go situations backed up on your own goal line, Mike, what they teach the defense is it's your job to establish a new line of scrimmage. And that's exactly what they did here. Watch the push they get. The offensive line goes backwards, and they take the ball carrier down for a loss.
Willis now to throw. That is caught by the tight end. Jonnu Smith. Touchdown, New Orleans. Tight spaces down there. Things happen quick. Greg, a quick decision and great execution for the score.
You're exactly right, Mike. Down here this close to the goal line, everybody's clock has to speed up. Not only the quarterback processing to get the ball out of his hand, but you have to win as a receiver quickly and give the quarterback somewhere to go with the ball. It was that quickness at the line of scrimmage that led to that touchdown.
We are all square, 14 apiece the score as this one's away. The dangerous Mecole Hardman on the return. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. They'll throw. It's Nix. In trouble, and down he goes. So the Eagles will use their first timeout here. Second down. Nix. That one is complete to Hardman. And he'll be brought down up past the 35-yard line. Here's the timeout for Philadelphia. That is their second, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Valdez-Scantling on the move. On 1st down, here's Nix to throw. He's going to air this one out. That is caught. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he will go all the way. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Touchdown, Eagles.
Think back to the spring, Mike. We all watched the highlights of this guy's pro day, and you always question, why do they make these quarterbacks just rear back and throw it as far as they can? How often are they really going to do that? Well, when they do, like we saw here, it is a thing of beauty. He put that big arm on display with that last pass, and it winds up going for 6.
Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in that landing zone, the ball only comes out to the 20-yard line. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. Williams in motion. Pistol snap to Willis. He'll let this one go long for Williams. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
So not a lot of yards on the return, Mike, but that's okay. The number one thing, end up with the ball in your hands. And in this case, mission accomplished, and his guys are headed off the field to celebrate.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. Back to throw is Nix.
You know, Mike, nice job here by the quarterback, just understanding on these early downs, you just don't want to go backwards. So he's able to avoid the negative play, pick up a little bit, and mostly avoid the sack.
Here's a 2nd and 9. Valdez-Scantling on the move. Now, a 2nd down throw for Nix. He'll get this one to his safety valve, complete, and he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A pickup of 21 on that connection. Good for an Eagles first down. From the shotgun, here's Nix. Throwing it right into the hands of his running back.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable at pass protection. And maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
On 2nd down, it's Nix. To the right side, hauled in by Kelsey. And he's going to have the first down as he gets out of bounds, and he stopped the clock as well.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a first down. Good-looking drive rolls on. 18 more yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. To the end zone there, but it is incomplete. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, the one he was looking for. And it'll lead to a 2nd down. Throwing is Nix. That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half.
They went for it all on that one and just a little bit off. Ball winds up hitting the ground. They've got to move forward. The opportunities are out there. Better execution, better location, and they got some big plays in their future.
So we've hit halftime, and it's the visitors, the Eagles, out on top. As we'll send you over to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman standing by. He's got the EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Coach, thank you. Back here on EA Sports as we count down to the kickoff of the second half. Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this second half gets underway. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Here's 1st and 10. Willis now to throw. And this ball's going to be incomplete. Jonathan Taylor, the intended receiver. And that will lead to a 2nd down.
Really nice job there by the defense defending the middle of the field. That is the most valuable real estate on the field. They know every single offense is trying to attack the defense between the hashes. So give credit. They took away all the throwing lanes, and that ball falls incomplete.
He'll find the rookie from LSU, Brian Thomas. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
A gain of 19 yards. That's good for the Saints. First down.
Throwing, Willis. The coverage too good downfield. They'll wind up taking him down.
Through the first half, it was clear. This pass protection, this offensive line unit, they were clearly up for the challenge. The pass rush was non-existent. But here in the second half, you can sense a little bit more urgency. You can see them start playing with a little more speed and intensity, and it pays off there with their first sack of the day.
Here's Willis. He'll fire one deep for Harrison. And that is incomplete. Marvin Harrison Jr., the intended target. 3rd down coming up. Willis. He'll try to run for it.
And that's a great job defensively here on 3rd down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn into a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the 1st down.
And he's going to have a Saints 1st down. That'll be a gain of 15 on 4th down.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it, because with that chunk play, with just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of, they got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
They get 22 yards there. 1st down, New Orleans. Throwing, Willis. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Taylor. Stop at the 6, and that sets up 3rd and goal.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
To throw, here's Willis. That is on. What a job on the scramble. Brian Thomas. Touchdown, Saints. And that is touchdown number 1 in the National Football League career of a guy, Greg, taken high in the draft, hoping for moments like that.
When you get drafted in the 1st round, Mike, let alone as a wide receiver, the expectation in the NFL today is that you need to come in and be an immediate impact plays like this, continue to build that relationship with the quarterback, and I think this guy's got a real bright future.
Following the touchdown, here's Sly to kick it away. And no chance to return this one. Through the end zone for a touchback. Here's a give up the middle to Mixon. And he'll get this forward to about the 33.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up
Second and 7. To throw is Nix. That's caught downfield. It's Kelsey. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
Well, he certainly didn't look like a rookie on that long completion, Mike. Not only his ability to scan the field and find his favorable matchup, but he was able to hit his downfield target in the perfect spot that led to that big gain.
And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away, and that'll set up second down.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
Finding space at the 15. And he will score again. Joe Mixon. Touchdown, Philadelphia. That is 3 touchdowns in the game and 4 for the season. Bass's kick is good. And the Eagles will extend this third quarter lead. Following the touchdown, Bass is back to kick it off. Here comes a return from the 3. A good return as he takes it across the 30. Now Willis. This one is complete along the sideline. A very nice job to fit that ball in. It'll be a modest gain.
The best guys I've been around, Mike, they have a sense where they can see the ball, but they can feel the sideline. And that's kind of an innate sense that these guys have that allows them to concentrate and secure the catch and ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down. To throw is Willis. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a fourth down.
This offense has to find a way to be better on first and second down, Mike. Living in these third and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
Take it in, back at his own 12. And he'll get a few yards back here on the return before being forced out of bounds. This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10. Throwing. Nix. Escaping the danger. Throwing and completing. And he will finally be taken down. How about that? A really big play as the final one here in the third. So both teams trade touchdowns in that frame as we get through the end of the third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Play action now. It's Nix. He'll get rid of it and complete it. They pick up 17 through the air. 1st down, Philadelphia.
An interesting decision there by the play caller to put this ball in the air. Mike, you're up by 2 scores. Traditional wisdom says, hey, we're up by 2 scores late in the 4th quarter. We've got to keep this clock moving. You don't want to risk an incompletion. Now, they convert. They're able to secure the catch and pick up a fresh set of downs. That's going to enable them to continue to burn more clock. And without a stop, their opponent's not going to get the ball back. So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan. And then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the second phase and what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play him man-to-man. And it's exactly what they did here. And there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it away.
Travis Kelce, the intended target. And it'll be 3rd down. Next, from the gun, on 3rd down. And he gets that to Hardman. And he's into the end zone. Nicole Hardman. Touchdown, Eagles. Extra point try by Bass. He's got it. And the Eagles will open it up even further here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, Bass is back to kick it off. They're trying to pin him deep. They'll take this from the 3. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Throwing is Willis. That's caught over the middle by Thomas. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line. A gain of 17 yards. And the Saints. Willis now to throw. The pressure there got to him. He's hit as he threw it, and that pass falls incomplete.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him. Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. This pressure is relentless. They get him again.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front, because right now their pass protection is breaking down and this quarterback's paying the price for it.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. He'll let this one go deep for Thomas. And that is incomplete. The defense very happy to see that play call. The decision to go for it on 4th and long will end up in a turnover on downs. Here's a give running left with Mixon. And a nice run there. He'll be stopped just shy of a 1st down. A pickup of 9.
So when you're evaluating the impact of a team's run game, I think it's important at the end of the game to look back and say, okay, how many yards did they run for? But more importantly, when did those yards come? Did I run for those yards in the fourth quarter, which typically means I had the lead? That's the sign of a successful run game, as opposed to getting a lot of meaningless yards early in the game.
Now Nick's going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Eagles will extend their lead.
I think at this point in the game, Mike, when you have things under control, not only were they able to hold on to the ball for a while, they still were able to manage to add 3 points.
So after the made field goal, Bass is back out there to kick it away. Now return coming from the 7. Oh, he's got room past the 30. Oh, nice return, but he takes a big shot at the end of it. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. This is incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down. Let's see what this call is. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Willis to throw. That's caught downfield by Harrison. And he is out of bounds, but not until he's inside the 40-yard line. That's good for 27 and a first down. Now they'll set up to throw. That's over the middle and intercepted. Now Mixon. He finds some room across the 25. And they'll get him down, but not before he takes this across the 30-yard line.
And this is the point of the game, Mike, where you really can start leaning on your run game and try to close this game out. You've got the lead, you're in the fourth quarter, and they're able to pop off a big run.
On first down, they keep it on the ground, and they keep it with Mixon. And he's going to be taken down right at midfield.
Here's a case of an offense just piling on. You're really imposing your will on the defense. Everyone in the stadium knows you're going to run it. The defense knows it, you know it. And no matter what they do, they have no answers whatsoever.
Now he'll swing it out to his fullback. He's going to get forward for about 5 yards, but this one might be coming back. Let's check in with the referee. On the handoff, it's Mixon. Call it a gain of 13. Good for an Eagles first down.
And this running game has really been rolling, Mike, all game long. The holes, the run lanes, they've been there consistently. Here's another nice run as they look to put this game away.
On the give, This is Mixon. Now they are in business inside the 15-yard line. 19 more on that one, and another first down. So it's a win here for the visiting Eagles. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, got a few more defensive stops than their opponents did. That was the difference in this one. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long, everyone.
Broski, yummy. I just touched down in LA, the Spanish, my favorite. This that G. I keep it playing, so I put it on. She be in it, she just made a big. I got rolling over. Speeding to the money like I'm running from the feds. Posted with my this say yeah. I'm like, whoa, see residuals, watch the money grow. I'm in flow, greatest story told, watch it all unfold. I'm like, whoa, reaping what I sow. Harvest getting bigger, they all froze. I release my soul, now they taking pictures of it. Eyes on the prize, it's my last soda. 5:45, got the lights on us. Fries to the side of an ice cola. You know that ride till the tires fall off. She know I'm a D, I got a date with destiny. She coming to me, cause I got the flavors and recipe. She racing to me like an athlete. She two with the G's, then she know it. Yeah. It's eyes on the prize, I can't live life in disguise. Cause bro recognize I ain't gotta compromise. I keep it concise, the gang tight like ties on the industry advice. I'm outside with some good fellas and some nice guys trying to live life in the sky. We lit in real life, we don't pay to be verified. We just manifest, lay and grind on the rise. We defy the odds like it's nothing, time after time. God bless this eternal shine, yeah.